Hi, it's Double975 and welcome to Nipsy Does Honor Mode episode 22, which is pretty much just goblin genocide. It's I kind of feel sorry for the goblins. It's mean, but they're there. I'm gonna just clear them out on my way through, and there's not much they're gonna be able to do about it. Though Karlak is still baned, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, but then she hits hard enough. The fun thing with the goblin camp is once you trigger a fight, it just triggers more fights, and so you just end up clearing out the interior en masse. It's not too much of a problem. There's a couple up high which are a pain in the butt, but ultimately at the level I'm at, this is just going to be pretty much a slaughter. I almost feel sorry for them. Almost. I mean, every D&D player, the chance to trash through a goblin camp as a barbarian is just back in the day, that sort of thing. It used to be quite good fun. And stomping through the enemy territory is hilarious. And anytime you can get a barbarian cleaving through an absolute shite ton of goblins is just funny, so why not indulge? Let your characters have some fun, go mad, kill stuff. Hex intelligence is not very nice. Ray of sickness, poisoned. Yeah, some horrible stuff. Goblins they're never an easy thing to deal with. They've always got plenty of tricks up their sleeve. They're reasonably high dexterity. They can do stuff. It's, you're never guaranteed an easy win against them. And, this was like, oh no, I've got nothing I can target with her. And then she gets hit by an arrow of darkness. Typical. But, ultimately this was just a lot of stomping around, triggering fights, killing things. And that's pretty much it. The goblins will have to rush over and dash and do whatever to get to me, and it takes time for these fights. The one thing with turn-based combat, it can take a while for things to move up, and sometimes when you initiate fights quite far away from other things, it can be a real pain in the butt. I was disappointed I didn't get to play the drums in this bit. But, annoyingly, that guy's just going to annoy me. But the one up high, he's not going to do a lot. I hopefully will be able to take him out at some point, but it's annoying me. It's the two fighters. They got better things to do than deal with that one dude that's semi-annoying up here, really. But I thought, well, I might as well. It's a precision strike, but even with precision strike shooting from the low ground, and I still missed, which is a pain in the butt. And then a 30% shot, of course that hits. If I'd have just done the 30% shot to start with, it would probably hit. But here's what we've come for. Even though she's baned, she's having a right nightmare time of it. She can just rampage and have a bit of fun throwing goblins at goblins, which is just hilarious fun. And why did I select to throw potions, not alchemist wire? But axes are good. It is just mean at this stage, but like I say, this is the weird way I've done it, because I went all through the Underdark low level. By the time I come up here, this is kind of the reward for doing all of that stuff, is you get to have fun just annoying the goblins, because there's not a lot they can do about it. You're much higher level than they are built to fight against, but I've got to say, they do have some decent abilities. Between the hexes, the throwing heals, the blessings, they're not terrible. They're good little fighters. I don't know why they all decided to dash here. It wasn't the best of ideas, but I don't know where they're all trying to run off to. And yeah, I do like the doing the Bard Wizard thing. Just gives you so much variety and options you can do to people, and gives you an embarrassment riches in spells, especially in cantrips. And later on, because you get the robes and all the rest of it, your cantrips still do the charisma damage, so you don't have to be a bard, a warlock to actually get the full advantage out of Eldritch Blast. You can still get decent results with Eldritch Blast as a bard. You just have to get the robes from Althera at the tavern in the second act. The robes that allow you to add your charisma bonus onto any cantrips. I did decide to use some healing. I didn't really need to, but I thought I might as well. And then I still went and missed with the arrow anyway, so that was annoying. But hit with the second one, and people are nearly dead all over the place. And poor old Karlak, she's still suffering with Bane, and it's not exactly holding her back any, really. Yeah, she is kind of very brutal. This build is the Thrower Barbarian is just very powerful. The amount of damage she outputs and how tanky she is just great. And and even Shadowheart's actually trying to hit stuff. I don't know why I'm bothering, because she's useless at hitting stuff. I should just be using her cantrips. She's not the greatest in melee. Look at that, she's taking tons of radiant damage now. I've messed that up. But Millie, that poor goblin, didn't even manage to kill me bird, but did survive the crossbow bolt and the Eldritch Blast. So fair play. That goes pretty tough. And ends up surviving the Raven attack. And then eventually dying to the mixed damage that I'm managing to do with Lae'zel. And ultimately this is just pure goblin cruelty at this point. There's nothing they're going to do about it. It's just waiting for Karlak to just smash her way through the ranks of goblins. The external part of this is going to be an absolute slaughterfest in the next episode. I do decide to do something interesting, at least with the external part. I've never frontally assaulted the base, the outside. I've normally just come out the main doors and let the fight kick off from there. So what I decided to do is actually attack the main gatehouse and walk through as if I was attacking it frontal assault style, just to see what difference it makes to the goblins, what they do about it. I thought it'd be a fun little change up. And I don't know, Shrieking Sword. I don't think I needed it for this lot. Just trying to clear out, but I've got to get more effects on the go so I can get the bonuses of the boots. But yeah, she is absolutely useless, Shadowheart, bless her. And there we go, there's another section of the goblins cleared out. And we're moving on to take out Minthara. And this is quite a reasonably long episode again. A lot of goblin slaughter. Not a lot they can do about it, but kind of funny. The eye is always a bit of annoying, but just gotta use thunder damage really. Now I'm recording this on the 13th of February, and as yet the patch hasn't come out yet. It'd be interesting to see what effect that has on the game, because I'm really looking forward to the patch. And Woody and me are planning to do a playthrough when the patch comes out. And I don't know if we're going to do straight on mode or how we're going to play it, but I'm really interested to see what new subclasses, what difference the patch makes, that sort of thing. I'm really looking forward to that. Should probably Boddicking inspired poor old Karlach if she's still. I should have removed the curse on her, but she's still baned. She'll be baned throughout the day, but it doesn't really matter. I can't even remember why she's baned now, but yeah. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter. She's still really effective anyway, and yeah, it's only goblins. Oh, and Minthara, but you know, Minthara isn't that much of a worry. Well, because of the level I'm at, Minthara can still, I think she can pretty much one-shot a lot of my characters, and she does have hold person, which is, well, she's just done there, which is really powerful still. But ultimately, annoying acid vials aside, it's, yeah, Minthara is a tough character, but she's not as tough when you're this level and you've got the Forge armor, which means you're immune to crits, etc, etc. So yeah, there's a big difference between the characters that went to the Underdark and the characters when they come back from the Underdark. So yeah, overall it's it helps with this as well, because everyone now gets Blade Warden blessed, and now, even though poor old Karlach's held and whole person, she's not actually going to take that much damage because of the Blade Ward. And what with Lizelle out in front doing excellent jobs with excellent amount of damage that she does as a polearm master. Yeah, between the polearm master and the thrower, the damage output of this party is fine. With the support of the cleric and the bard to bolster people up, boost people up, get all these wonderful spells out that increase their ability. One of the things I'm really interested in with the new patch is they're going to put Booming Blade in, and I'm interested to see if the version, because there is a version out through the mods, which is great, it works really well, but the one thing it does is you can Booming Blade doesn't work very well on characters that have less than more than one attack, because it takes your entire action to do the Booming Blade attack with cast the spell, and the spell includes the attack part. It's not actually that useful on people with multiple attacks, because you don't, when you use the attack action you get your multiple attacks. Because you're not using your attack action, you don't get to Booming Blade with the multiple attacks. So it kind of, it's a leveler for people like bards that only have one attack to make that one attack, you know, better. That's kind of like the that's kind of the idea of it, or the way it works, the scope of it. But yeah, that's how. So the version they've got from the modded version works differently, and it just basically works as a reaction that you can put on every attack. Larian added to the game themselves. Be interesting to see how they do that and how they accomplish that, and I will be using that because it's such a good spell. Booming Blade is like I'm always a Booming Blade Misty Step person. I love doing that cheese, which is great. I don't know why she came up here, and this meant a really awkward thing, because she ended up here fighting me, which, you know, I wasn't particularly worried about, especially as I'm getting all my extra bits of damage. But as you can see, the amount of damage she's doing, the caustic, the acid, all the bits and bobs. And then I remembered, oh no, I don't actually want to kill her, I want to knock her out. And then she survives on 1 hit point. So I got kind of bogged down because she's at the top of the list, top of the ladder, which means people can't climb up there, or it's a bit more awkward to get people up there. And yeah, that didn't work out well for me. But now she's knocked out. She was in a really awkward position, which caused me much awkwardness in how to move around her body and stuff like that. She just became a pain in my butt. There were three things that I hadn't really accounted for: was how hard that Shadowheart got hit, that body causing me issues, and the fact that I left myself in non-lethal damage, which meant when the goblin came up the ladder I killed him, but his familiar was, his summoned monster was still there, and it confused me for a moment. And you'll see as the confusion comes in, I end up toggling off non-lethal. But yeah, an arrow spray damage was enough to take care of Shadowheart, which was slightly disappointing. But I could bring her back into life quite easily. And Lazelle's not taking that much damage at all. I should have just jumped Lazelle down to go and do damage, because she was fine too. Yeah, I mean, it was. I just hadn't really taken a notice of how damaged some of the characters had got during this fight, but I tend to do that when the fight's so one-sided. It's hard to notice that somebody took a really big hit. But yeah, overall, the fight went swimmingly well for me. It got a little confused and a little cramped up here on this little ledge, but that's my own fault. I was sure that Minthara would come and attack an incapacitated Karlach. I hadn't expected her to pursue Lazelle up that ladder, so that was kind of my own fault. And here, like I say, because I've got non-lethal damage switched on, it confuses the shit out of me this bit as to why after I take this guy out, his companion is still there. So yeah, it takes me a while to work out what's going on there, but all in all, it all went swimmingly. The goblin slaughter continued. Next episode is going to be the courtyard, which is an absolute massacre. The rest of this episode is just me going to the bear pit and resolving that little issue and saving Halcyon. Yeah, it took me a moment to realise, why? Oh, yes, because I can see the stars now above his head, which I wasn't paying attention to. But we had non-lethal damage on, and I've just hit him again with another non-lethal attack. So, yeah, not my best work, but there we go. Now I will show you me looting Minthara, but I take everything she's got, including her clothes. So we can't be having nudity on my YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there with me looting her corpse, and so we'll just pick it up inside the Halcyon bit. And yeah, this is one of those sections that's not at all difficult. Again, just getting people into position and doing as much damage as possible when you've got the buffs up is basically all that we're going to worry about in this section. And yeah, I did just start killing without worrying about it. Probably should have gone down a little bit of conversation, but yeah, I didn't bother. Just moved in and started killing. Yeah, you know. My poor birdie. Like I say, Bane is such a pain in the butt on a barbarian. I can't remember where I got cursed from and ended up with Bane on for this day, but yeah, wherever it was, I should have just done remove curse and got rid of it. But it hasn't really held me back too much. I can't remember what caused it to be on there, but yeah. All in all, Lazelle's doing a cracking job of being Lazelle and missing with her bow, but if she hits with the bow, she activates her electric damage, which is kind of handy. And yeah, she can do a decent amount of damage just with her bow, to be honest. But when she hits with it, she isn't the most dexterous, and that's absolutely terrible shooting. However, realistically, Lazelle actually only needs to shoot her bow once, hit one thing, and it gives her a lightning charges, which I have a whole plethora of synergy that's opening up with Karlach, Lazelle, and Nipsy when dealing extra thunder and lightning damage and electrifying water. Yeah, it's just little fun ways of doing little tiny bits of extra damage. It's amazing what an extra d4 damage or a little bit extra does. I do end up letting the kids go. I'm thinking about it, but ultimately I decided to let them go. Well, especially when this happened, somebody ended up on their butt, like prone. But yeah, I decided to let the kids go and focus just killing the goblins. I mean, it's been enough of a goblin genocide as it is about wanton child murder on the books. Yeah, I could have done. I was thinking about it. I had the option to, but yeah, there was no need. I've got so many different ways of attacking things now that it's quite good fun. The Bard spell list, all the Bard spell list lacks is one decent damaging cantrip, other than Vicious Mockery. Vicious Mockery is fun, but it's not a consistently damaging cantrip. So if you can take, just one ability to add a little bit of extra damage to it, it can make a lot of difference. And as you can see here, now I'm doing thunder, lightning, caustic damage, and the weapon damage. And then you have the barbarian coming in. She'll electrify the water there, and she ends up not being able to throw stuff over because the angle's all wrong. So I just rush her into the next bit, and that's quite good because there we go. She can run through and electrify the next pool of water as well, which is quite handy. And yeah, this is some of the extra synergies that I've built in with these characters, taking advantage of a bit of lightning, a bit of thunder, just to do a little bit of extra damage here and there. And yeah, Shadowheart is actually the one who technically can provide the water if I need to, for the others to benefit from. But yeah, ultimately it's about getting the Shrieking Sword into position as much as possible. So just the outside of the keep to go, and then that's the Goblin Massacre over with, as Nipsy dashes in and allows Karlach and Lazel to do all the extra bits of damage and finish these guys off. Even Tenacity kills at this point. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know for what you're looking forward to in the new patch that's coming out very soon. It's amazing how much life this game's getting. Anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.
Pardon the viscera. One should cherish all of nature's bounty, but goblin guts are quite far down the list. You aided a bear without knowing if it would savage you. A true friend of nature. Or perhaps a lunatic. Either way, I owe thanks. I am the druid Halsin.